Hey, I'm Johnny Scoville, and this is Chase the Heat. Kind of a weird time to do a live stream, but I thought, you know what? Let's do a live stream. Behind. So we've got a wicked cool day planned today. I got Left Eye Pat's coming out to hang out with us today. And it's great because I'm not going to get thrown into a tent or have a grenade tossed at me or anything crazy like that. Dizzy Dragon, Don, Chili Manser, good to see you, Donnie. Nick, good to see you, bro. Mal Freed, hello. Hi, Virginia. Good morning. Are we all having a good day? I'm having a great morning. It's weird. You know what's strange? Today, I swear to you, today feels like Saturday, and I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what time, though. Sorry about that. Bud! Morning, Bud. So, it's Tuesday, and I got Left Eye Pat coming out. Last time I saw Pat was the grenade in the tent thing. You know, Ted has more grenades. He has a whole case of them. And we have a lot of powder. We could do that again. I could spring a grenade thing on Pat. He doesn't even know it. I'm having a marvelous morning. Felt good when I woke up. Always grateful for those days. Amen, Donnie. I know that feeling, man. A mixed bag of donuts, excuse me. Morning from snowy Chicagoland. I lived in the Chicagoland area for years. Lived in Rockford. What a wicked cold place. Even in Rockford, way north of the lake, you get that lake effect weather, and you feel it in Rockford. I'm not even joking. You know what's happened? I lived there during the Bulls run, when the Bulls were on the run back in the 90s. And I'm not joking you, when they would have a game in downtown Chicago, it would screw up traffic all the way up to Rockford. I'm not joking. Drew V, I hope you're doing well, bro. Hope you're healing like a rock star. Mr. Jacob, Death Range. How are you, bud? Good to see you, man. So far, it's good, says Virginia. Glad yours as well. You're always so positive. Thank you for saying that. Trying to live with a whole mantra. Your attitude determines your altitude. It's the truth. But you know what? You only see my look. I don't push the button when I'm angry and in a bad mood. Hey, let's go live. I do it when I'm in a good mood. Fortunately, I'm in a good mood most of the time. But I'm human like everybody else, man. I have my bad days. Just don't turn the camera on when those days happen. He's a suitor. Good to see you, Robert. Ernie Eastman. Good to see you, bud. Nice to see you, Corey DeBose. Good morning, young man. Thank you for saying that. Here is to a good day. Indeed. Bruce Cook, good to see you, sir. Christian Soriano, moved to Colombia. There's no spicy here. Kidding. I thought there was spicy in Colombia. I'm going to grow my own peppers. Spicy I've been able to get is jalapeno. That's a bummer. You know what, though? You can get seeds. Look, it's not like, even in places like Australia, it's against the law to ship seeds to Australia. Now, I'm not saying I've done it, but you could put a seed in a pocket of a pair of shorts, send them over. They're not going to extract. There's seeds in the shorts. You know what I'm saying? How do you think all these peppers get around the world? So you try to get somebody to send you some seeds. Dizzy Dragon planted the BTR, or the Primatology BTR, going to grow it inside in the winter. Good call. Mr. Shelton, tough day. My neighbor got his apartment fumigated. I didn't know. I spent hours in there. We're looking for a script. Now I can't taste my Mackinac peaches. They're only in season for a short time. Yeah, man. Nothing like those Mackinac peaches. Shelton, I've got to a point where I see a comment from you, I just get stoked about it because I know it's going to be a good one. I'm a good guy now and sober. I'm a good guy now and sober. Hey, proud of you, Burning Ernie. That's awesome. DJ Daddio. Good to see you, man. There should be some wild varieties in Colombia. Weird. I expected more. Me too. Colombia. You'd think there'd be tons of it. Like, I've been at shows. I'm from Colombia. I can eat hot stuff. I've heard that. I'm not joking. So ask around. There's got to be a group you can get plugged into. Yes, seeds are on the way from friends in the States. It's the truth. Good. I'm glad to hear that, Christian. That's awesome. I deleted my Facebook app today and Snapchat app because you're right. A lot of drama, and I'm part of the problem, honestly. Tend to get emotional in the comments. Listen, we're all human beings. It makes us really tough though. People say things they would never say to your face. It's a problem. But I can't tell you. I do not feel bad about dumping Facebook at all. Not even a little bit. Seriously, it's been it's like a weight off my back. Paulman, Mr. Johnny, your challenge is criminal. I've heard that, man. I'm sorry. You guys heard about the since we're approaching the Christmas season, you guys heard about the porch pirate that stole some tubes of terror from somebody. First year we made them, Christmas time. Somebody bought two, and I get an email one day that said I bought two of your tubes of terror. They were shipped, and that was great. But somebody stole them. Like a porch pirate snagged them. Like, that's a drag. He wanted me to send 2 new ones. I'm like, yeah, we did our job. We made them, and the mail, they did their job. They shipped them and delivered them. You just have a shady neighbor. So I was talking to Foy. I'm like, do you want to just send the guy 2 more? He got, stiffed because of a crooked neighbor. Before we could even make a decision, the next day I get an email from the guy with a picture. The person the porch pirate stole the package, went home, opened it up, opened the tube of terror, ate a few of the peanuts from one of the tubes. It was like, I'm out. They capped it up, put it back in the box, and returned it to the porch where they stole it. One of the great stories. I'm sorry. Tickled me to death. So it's kind of criminal. I've heard that before. Donnie, Virginia, he says, I deleted my app this past week too. I felt better mentally. Right? Donnie, it's the truth. It's such a cesspool. It's toxic. People aren't nice and friendly. The funny thing is, it's like you could post a picture of something beautiful or make a video that's, a kind video that's, good natured, and people say bad things about it. But if you're in a grocery store, you know what I mean? Or you let somebody in traffic, they will thank you and wait. If you're in a grocery store, and I don't know if it is in different countries, but in America, if you're in a grocery store, somebody's going to hop behind you in the line. Well, you got your groceries, you're putting on the conveyor belt there, whatever, and they're right behind you. When you take the little bar to separate it, thank you so much. They thank you profusely, like you've done something amazing. But you know why? Because they're standing 3 feet away from you. And if they were a jerk, you can grab them by the throat, stop the airflow to their brain. People don't have that. I got to be nice because he's standing in front of me. And online, people just are, they say the worst stuff. They do. So I don't miss it at all, man. Out of topic. When will the balut challenge be done again? I will do that again when I go to the Philippines again, because you know what? I've eaten it before, and it's not really a challenge anymore because it tastes really great. It's the first time you do it. I don't think Tommy will ever do it. I'm sure somewhere in America there's like a Filipino population where they do balut. I'm sure they do. I just don't see Tommy doing it. Although I don't know, maybe he would. I think it's going to be easier for me to get Tommy to do gross things than hot things. I burned him a lot in the last month or so. Dizzy Dragon, I met a Jamaican guy here on Mexico. I showed him a true form Scotch bonnet, and his eyes lit up because he hadn't seen one since he was a kid. It's when you realize how important peppers are to people, right? And the problem is, we're getting to a day. One of the things I worry about, maybe it's a stupid fear, but I'm worried that in like 10 or 15 years, every pepper's gonna look the same. It's gonna be so hard to get a true strain because you get these backyard growers, and nothing against the backyard grower, love them, but the backyard growers will have like 20 different varieties in 2 rows, and nature's gonna do. Look, you know how they get animals to mate in the zoo? Do you guys know how they do it? They put them in the same cage together. That's it. So when you put plants next to each other, they're going to do what plants do. You know what I mean? And what ends up happening is, like, if you look at some pepper, if I've eaten so many Reapers over the years, I'm like, no, it's a Reaper. Trust me, it's just an off phenotype. It happens all the time. And it's a bummer. So I feel you. Miss Sunrise, Dawn, good to see you from North Georgia. Thanks for being here. Yeah, man, the porch pirate. Maybe it set him straight, but he shouldn't have eaten those. I don't know what he was thinking. If you look at the thing, it says he's the hottest. Actually, maybe it doesn't say that. You can tell by looking at it. It's something spooky in there. So I was kind of surprised that somebody would just grab that and not knowing what they're doing, just eat one. Well, just stealing something off of somebody's porch is so shady in general. He had it coming. I don't think porch pilots would dare come to my neighborhood. Just about every one of my neighbors open carries firearms on their properties. Yeah, Bruce, I hear you. Living a weird time, man. Johnny Mnemonic, I can't miss it. Never bother with it. Glad you're feeling better with yeah, it's gone from my life and I feel so much better. Not joking. Downside are birthdays. The only reason I remember birthdays for the last 10 years is because of social media. And now I've already missed birthdays of a few friends of mine. And I'm sorry. I really am. I'm sorry. True V, not going to lie. I low-key got aggravated when people put that divider on the belt. I'm like, don't worry, bro. I'll let you pay for my stuff. That's funny. I find they're just so nice. It's just bizarre. It's like, in traffic, they aren't quite like that because you're in different cars. They aren't quite standing next to you. But I find when someone's standing right next to you, they're a lot more kind. Because I have that look like I might grab you by the throat. You say the wrong thing. And I'm not that guy, but I think I have that look. I know one guy in particular who swears by isolation and bases his whole business on it. His peppers are good, says Donnie. Chili Mancer. You know what? There's a bunch of, I know several growers that do. But here's the thing, man. I had a friend, all right, true story. I had a friend who grew weed 1,000,000 years ago in Vermont. And he had all female plants. And he put them out and on some property. It was illegal, but he did it. It was a friend of mine. This is honest to God, going back 30 years, maybe, long time ago. And all the plants had seeds, meaning that within 1.5 miles, there was another male plant and they cross pollinated because they can cross pollinate apparently up to 1.5 miles. I don't know what the cross pollination is. I don't know if it's wind. Dizzy can probably tell me. I don't know if it's the wind or if it's bees. I don't know what the deal is, but things are going to do what they're going to do. Virginia appreciates the divider. It's the beautiful thing is we're all different. What do you think of the new double chip challenge? Not very impressed. I haven't tried the new one, Christian. I don't know if there's a brand new one. I know there was an older one. Not very impressed with those products or that pepper. I'm not even going to say it by name. I'm just not very impressed with it. So they're not going to get my money. I live in a rural town, says Bruce Cook, not too far from Atlanta, Georgia. Everyone here is very, should be. Second Amendment. I love it. No nonsense town. It's a beautiful thing. Mixed Bag of Donuts deleted his platform on Facebook a while back, but needs it because of music. Yeah, I kind of felt like I needed it for work, but then I was just kidding myself. Like, I don't care. I don't care if people buy less tubes of terror because of it. I just don't care about that. I'd rather my peace of mind. You want the truth of it? I don't know if I said this in a previous video, but here's the truth of it. If I stayed in social media, I got 2 years left and I'm going to look for a different mountain to climb and I'll find a different challenge. I'm going to leave this whole thing. That was where I was headed if I didn't get out of it. I'm serious. I was running out of time. I was just, and the second I deleted it, bought me some more time. So, but I'm telling you, I was, negative, very negative. All you need is that one bad seed. It's the truth, Greg Hammond. Good to see you, man. Dizzy, Donnie Chilimancer says, I'm in Springfield, Missouri. Take your catalytic converters. They take those catalytic converters everywhere. When I lived in Fort Mill, one day I was with Foy, my business partner for the sauce company I have, and we were reading the paper. Some dude was stealing the catalytic converter out of a Prius because apparently they have a lot more valuable stuff in them. They're like the most commonly stolen one. And it had it on a lift. The car dropped, killed him. Guy goes out to go to work in the morning. There's legs from underneath his car. Dude died under a car stealing a catalytic converter. It's crazy. Having a coffee. Let's talk. I'll give you a topic. The Partridge family were neither partridges nor were they a family. Let's discuss this, says Jeremy Shelton. You know what? What a show. I can't think about the Partridge family and not think about what's his name? Somebody help me. Danny Bonaducci. I feel bad for him. I feel like the guy was set up to fail. Like, nothing's worse to me than being a child star. Like, I think what's happening to me, and I'm not a star in any way, shape, or form, so please don't get what I'm saying wrong, but I'm glad what's happening to me and everything is happening now versus when I was 16. Imagine that. The kid peaked before he had a driver's license. He had peaked in life. And then I just, you know, the spotlight is no place for a kid. It just isn't. It's no place for me. It can't be good for a kid. Good morning, Brian Blankenship. Good to see you, dude. Thanks for being here. Trent Lobo. That's karma for you. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Hey, LeBron. Good to see you, bro. Very good to see you. Dizzy says, I still don't get why Pucker doesn't sell at least pods pickled in pure vinegar, because it would only approximate the legend of the pepper. There ain't going to be any legend of that pepper. That pepper, the way it's set up, good to see you, Bull Cow. That pepper is the Bigfoot of peppers. You know, very well may be real Bigfoot. I'm not scared of Bigfoot coming into the kitchen and snagging me and making a lunch out of me or beating the cheese out of me on the floor or pulling my arm off. I'm not worried about that at all, because I don't think Bigfoot exists. I'm not saying anything about that pepper, but everything that's happened, all the stuff that's happening to Puckerbutt is brought on themselves. Have you noticed? I don't know. See, I'm not sure, because I haven't been on Facebook for a couple of weeks, and maybe it's just my lack of being on Facebook. But I know that everybody, it's all they talked about was Pepper X and that sauce. And then for about a week and a half prior to me leaving Facebook, everybody stopped talking about it completely. It was pretty weird to me. Good to see you, Bull Cow. Please tell the wife I said hi. They can take catalytic converter as long as they don't mess with a flux capacitor. Well, I'll tell you what, that flux capacitor is going to get you. That's the deal, isn't it, though? Isn't it always the flux capacitor, Jeremy? Brandon Breeding. Good to see you, bro. Top of the morning, y'all. Thanks for being here. Kimberly Holly. How cool are you? David Cassidy didn't really get it any better. Boy, he did not. That was a sad situation. And he never, even till the end, he kind of denied it and said he had blamed a lot of the things that were happening to him on mental illness or cognitive decline, whatever. And it was alcohol. So I feel bad for him. I do. Will Smith, keep your hands to yourself, Brett. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Everybody's safe from slaps. Will Smith is a good dude. He's not going to slap the cheese out of anybody. Frank Glovinazzo. Good to see you, man. Johnny, you're the best, bro. I don't even think I'm in the top 10,000, but thank you for saying that. Yeah, I personally know it's probably real, but they seriously went out of their way to be as shady as possible. Boy, they really did. But the problem is, this is the problem. People that don't know squat about Chili's are buying that stuff up. Everybody in the know is like, I guarantee you sales from the chili community have tanked. It's just a thought. I don't know. It's all crickets now. Couldn't get on Instagram or YouTube without hearing something about that pepper. I know, Drew. And now it's like, I'm sorry, what now? Nobody's hearing that. Are we closer to getting the Scoville on the last dab? It's the first bottle broke. Everybody knew that. The second bottle, I thought the second bottle had arrived. It has not. It didn't as of a week ago today. It was not there. So I'll probably call them this week and see if they got it. If they don't, I'll buy a bottle and just rush it out to them, because I'm going to do this in January. My chef's friend's father once saw the Loch Ness Monster. He came up to him and said, "Need about $350. Jeremy, you need help, dude." Bruce, last night, did the Carolina Reaper gusher with a last dab experience and filled the Reaper up all the way, and the sauce dumbed the spice level down so much it wasn't even funny. 2 points. 4 million, though. Come on, people. O'Reilly's Auto Parts is based here, too. They have a flux capacitor on sale for their website. You know what? Here's the problem. If you get a lot of the ones that you'll see online they're not, they'll say new old, like it's in a box, but it's not. It's refurbished. A lot of it's a knockoff from the beast from the East. So you got to be careful what kind of flux capacitor you get. You got to be careful about the source. I've heard good things about O'Reilly's. I haven't personally purchased a flux capacitor in a very, very long time. Corey, is there still, if you know the part number? Yeah, do you have the part number for that? You got to be careful. Make sure you don't get one of the rebuilt ones. Get a new one. It's worth the money. You'll be bummed out if you didn't. Just take it that way. Thomas Stevenson, good to see you, man. Still feel bad for Will. I think you mean Will Smith, Trent. Just got publicly embarrassed and lost his well-being all at once. You know what, though? No one put a gun to him and said, "Hey, I got an idea. When he says something that irritates you, walk him in front of the whole country and smack him in the face. I don't know. That would have worked in 1985. That's what we did. If somebody said the wrong thing, you walked up and you hit him in the face. But that was, there was no unfriending. That was the unfriending back there, or that was the blocking back there. I'm gonna block you in the parking lot. That's how that worked. But now things are different, So I don't feel bad for Will. I don't. All the things that are happening to Will. Here's the thing, man. Decisions you make today put you on a path tomorrow. That path has a foreseeable future. If someone sat him down and said, listen, if you walk up there and smack Chris Rock in the face, here's what could happen. He might, because it puts you on a path. That path tomorrow is everybody in the world talking about the slap that everybody heard. And it's going to change your whole future. Do you really want to do that? If he had thought it through, he probably wouldn't have done that. But the hype died on week 2. I'm glad to hear that, man. I read that auto parts store. I can't read the auto parts store without singing the jingle. Every good jingle's like that, Liberty, Liberty. Remember the Liberty one? Get it in your head. I'm happy to do this, LeBron. I can't wait to do this. And I've talked about my prediction. I talked about mostly on the bus pass. Have I talked about my prediction on the main channel, or has it just been a bus pass? I can't remember. I'll tell you now. I think it's going to be between 250 and 350. 250,000 Scoville and 350,000 Scoville. That's about it. Could be wrong. If it's higher by that much. But it is not even remotely in the ballpark. It isn't even in the same county as the ballpark where 2.3 or 2.4 million exist. It's just not. Basketball Jones. Very good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Rico Dorsey. I'm sad. My prematally point's dead. That sucks. But you know what? Guess what? There's always next season, man. Keep a good attitude. You're going to get it next year, I promise. You watch. Will screwed up big time. He sure did, man. He sure did. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. There you go, Dizzy. One step is enough to change the direction. I like that, Kimberly. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's worthy of writing down. It's that time of year, Rico, says Bruce Cook. It really is. Basketball Jones says, thanks for having me. Are you kidding me? Thanks for having me, dude. It's Tuesday. There's a million things you'd be doing right now, but you're parked in front of your phone or laptop watching this. Thank you. Are you kidding me? Most child stars turn out to have a bad road in life, but sometimes there's one that rises to the top. The comeback king, reaching ascension millennium because Goonies never die. Listen, man. The guy's a legend. You say what you want about him on stage. He's a terrible musician. I play guitar better than he does. I mean, I'm a much better guitarist than he is. Doesn't matter. The guy, for what he did with the Goonies and Stand By Me, because here's the thing. If you go watch Stand By Me, he actually is good. It's not just a dude in the show. He is great in that movie. So, but here's the problem with child stars is they get people around them that they're like handlers. They make sure that, and what happens is once they start making money and people see them, you can take that to the bank. It's somebody that's bankable. You can make money on them. Then they want to latch onto them and they want to keep that going. So that's why you get like Elvis. I mean, if you think about Elvis, he wasn't a child star, but there's a million child stars that do that. But if you look at Elvis with his colonel, the doctor, they were giving him a cocktail of pills to wake up in the morning and keep him going all day long. And when he was like blazed, they gave him something at night to shut him down. And in the morning, they gave him something to start him up again. And that's why he died so young. It's a drag. You really think sauce is only habanero? I do. Not habanero. No, because habanero, you probably could make a habanero sauce that hot. It's not so much that. Here's what I think about that sauce. It didn't need just to be a hot sauce. This is not 1980. This is the chili community in 2023. And if you put 91% on a bottle, POP, percentage of pepper, 91%, and everybody you printed that the heat source is 2.67 million, that it's simple math. That bottle of sauce didn't need to be hot, okay? It didn't need to be hot. It needed to be wicked hot. It needed to be doomed hot, which is 2.4 million. And it wasn't even remotely close. I'm not even joking. Wait till you see it. It's going to come in less than 25% of how hot it's supposed to be. I promise you that's what's going to happen. If I'm wrong, I swear to you, I'm going to make the biggest apology video that anybody has ever heard. I'm not wrong. The Lost Boys. Indeed, Jeremy. Right? Another great one. I know that is shady. Did you see that video? Dizzy Dragon. There's just a bunch of, there's so many things wrong. I wouldn't even know where to begin. Like, look, 91% of that bottle is a green pod, but that sauce is red. Do you know there's no food coloring you could add to 91% of a 5-ounce bottle that 91% is green? There's no food coloring you could add that could make it red. It would change the color, make it brown, but it wouldn't make it red. So there's something wicked wrong. And wicked wrong, that's all. I hate when long ads interrupt a live stream. You know what? I do too, but here's the deal, man. I apologize. It's how I pay the bills. I'm sorry. It's got a YouTube ad in the middle of your stream. Yeah. I don't do that, by the way. You guys need to know that. I don't decide where the ads go. I don't decide if they're you know what I can decide? I can decide where they go. I leave it up to them. Okay? I can decide where they go, but I don't have the time to say, here's where the first ad. I'm not going to do that. So I just automatically do it through YouTube. I can decide if it's a skippable ad, okay, or a non-skippable ad. And if it's a non-skippable, they tell you this too. They're like, if you go to non-skippable ads, you're going to make more money, but you're going to irritate your following. They're not going to like the fact that they have to sit through a commercial. So I've never done that. Every ad, I believe, if you guys have had a non-skippable ad, let me know, but they should all be non-skippable. I'm sorry about that, you guys. Yeah, they did say a while ago that it was 3 colors of X blended. They should have said that. So, like you said earlier, everything they've done with a rollout has been. It's almost like they sat down and said, how can we make this look shady? How can we make this not smell right so that everybody that sees it will have a giant question mark over their head? What can we do about it? And that seems like how they rolled it out. Like they literally thought of everything. It's astonishing, really. I don't mind watching the ads when I know it goes to the creator. Thank you so much. You know, it's funny. My brother and I will watch videos. When the ad comes out, I'm like, I can't believe this ad. He's like, hey, gotta pay the bill somehow. You know, here's the funny thing. Think about TV. Everybody, no, TV's dying and cable TV's gone. But I don't think it's everybody in the chat has at some point has sat in front of a TV watching commercials you couldn't skip. You know, that's the way it is. And then the minute you get online and you have you see a commercial, like, commercial. I get it, though. Can I choose what ads? No, I can't. What they do is, like, it's family-friendly content, so we have a lot of family-friendly, sponsors. I can't do that. What I can do during the political season, I can say I don't want any politics on and I think I'm going to do that this year. I'm going to say no politics, but my whole thing, I'm never going to talk. I almost talked about politics, but I'm not going to. Boy, it was so close. I'm not going to do it. Drew says, Johnny, I have a theory. What if Ed really did make Pepper X that rates that high on the Scoville scale, but it's not the pepper that he showed everyone? Then I can't for the life of me think he would do that because that's illegal, immoral, unethical, and I don't think he would do that. So, but that would be trippy. It would be trippy. Here's the thing. If it is exactly what he says he is, then he should be flogged for setting up his company for the beating they're taking. If everything is true and exactly as it should be, they brought all the heat they're taking. Like, I can't imagine working there, like working at the company. And think about the heat they're taking. Like, people, because they know if you work there, like all the people that work for Ed, when they're on social media, everybody knows who those people are. And I have to imagine they're getting emails and comments. But here's the thing. Most people that watch me, like most people in the chat right now, like me. You wouldn't be here, right? You guys like me. Well, most of the people that follow Ed and follow the employees, they like them. So it's, it is what it is. You kind of choose what side you're on. Hateful propaganda from both sides. Think about this, Bruce. What do they call TV shows? They call it programs or programming. Think about that. They didn't lie to us. Hey, this is programming. They told us that when they put TVs in. When the TVs came out, everybody in America bought one. It was like the iPhone. Nobody had TV. All of a sudden, everybody had TV just like that. It's kind of like iPhone. Nobody had phones in their pocket. These, and all of a sudden, everybody does. It's kind of like that. And what do they call it? Programming. They said that from Jump Street. They never lied to anybody, and they sat down and they tell you what to think and who to vote. Operating system of the mind. We have a little computer in our head, and the operating system is whatever we see and the frequency we see it or hear is going to determine that's our marching orders. Tells us how we think. That's scary. You got to be careful what you look at. It's true. No, we don't, says Shane Graham. We love you, Johnny. Thank you, Shane. I appreciate that. They take the heat because the pepper doesn't have any. That's funny. Matthew Connell, good to see you. Is there a rollout date for Pepper X, or is it not going to be for us average Joes? It'll never be for us average Joes. They're never going to release it. They can't. Don't let it bother you. Here's how I look at it. Koenigsegg is an amazing car company. Make ultra, like hypercars, not supercars, but hypercars, 300-mile-an-hour cars. I'm not stressed about the new. Hey, Tommy, what's up, bro? I'm not worried too much about the Koenigsegg. You want to know why? I'm not going to drive one. Plus, Tommy and I have the fastest electric car on the face of the earth in our garage. I don't need the Koenigsegg. But you know what I'm saying is I don't stress about things like I'm not. The second he said that he's not releasing it, that pepper disappeared from my radar. It doesn't exist. In my mind, it doesn't exist. He's never going to let anybody eat it. It doesn't exist to me. Sorry. Good to see you, Tommy. I had pepper tea coming out soon. Tommy. I miss you, man. Hope you're doing good. Dilrod. Good to see you, man. Jeremy says, no pepper will ever be our pepper. I had the pepper. Isn't that funny how people went and did that? Pepper X, pepper D, pepper. You know what? There are things that trend. You know, I get it. No one will ever taste it, but boy, is it hot, right? That car we have, if you saw how fast the car that Tommy and I built, you wouldn't believe it. So fast, it's so fast you don't even know it. Forget about it. Right, Tommy? Pepper. Barely know her. That's pretty good. I'll give you credit for that one, Shane. That's a good one. I booted the first time. Jimmy sent me chocolate primatali powder. That was the first time a pepper made me do that. I've eaten Moruga scorpions and reapers. That primatali tastes like takes the cake. It sure does, man. That line never gets old, man. It doesn't. Put that on a channel, but you won't. You know what? When I watch Tommy, I'll throw comments in there. Just more so when I'm in a different place. Like when I'm in a different room in the same house, I don't. But when Tommy's saying things that are making me buckle with humor, he's good at that. He's good at humor. Miss Sunrise Dawn, hey Tommy, loved the live this morning. I didn't watch it, Tommy. Sorry, I'm not gonna lie to you. Jeremy Shelton says, Lightboat, I heard your car was previously owned by John Voight. Another classic. I have his pencil. You'd be surprised. Surprised you didn't know that. Exactly, Tommy. Not that John Voight. You know, the periodontist. Is that the John Voight you're talking about? You know what's really funny? I shouldn't say this because there are people in the chat that don't get any of those Seinfeld references. But I got to tell you that if you chill with me and you get those references, your stock goes up. Easy mistake to make. It really is. You know what I didn't bring? Hey, Tommy, did you take the shaver off the charger? I hope you did. He's just going to say yes either way. But I didn't. I needed to trim this. It's driving me crazy. So I'm not going to stay on too much longer. Probably another. Is that right? Another 15 minutes or so. Still plugged in. Oh, unplug it and then push the button, see if it works. Because it's been charging for a week now. I think probably it's bad. Mulva, says Donnie. And it's off. Thank you, Tommy. Please push the button, see if it works. If not, I got to buy another one. Whatever that was, I have I was telling Tom about this. I have a trimmer, a beard trimmer. He can tell you, Dan, because he's looking at it. It's in our house, and I didn't bring it with me, and I put it on the charger forever. So it's probably done now. We're good. Thank you. But this charger I bought 3 years ago when Johnny Jr. and I first moved to Fort Mill. I bought this. It's the most amazing beard trimmer. And I'm telling you the truth. I left 2 days ago. I left Tucson. A day before that, I put that on the charger. It was the first time I've charged. It's the first time I've charged it since I bought it. Well, I got it out of the box, charged it till it was full, and just recently was the first time I've charged it in 3 years. Now, granted, I just do this here, just small touch-ups, but that battery, whatever battery's in that, they need to stick it in phones because the thing is a beast. Johnny, I just realized something. They said the bottle of 91% Pepper X, but 91% is 3 forms of the pepper. You're right, but every single form of that pepper is 2.67 because that's what he's told us. On top of that, one of the forms is even hotter because it's distillate or extract of that pepper. So it should have been even hotter. I'm giving the dude the benefit of the doubt, just saying 2.6, but that's what it should have been. So it's mathematically speaking, it needed to be. I was told it'd be no math. It would need to be between 2.39 and 2.4, and it's not. So got to run. Be careful, Tommy. Give Mom a kiss for me. Tell her I love her. What's more overrated, Pepper X or duck soup? Here's the thing. It isn't. Remember, were you on the live show when we were doing the top 100 songs? And who was it that was bumming me out so much that was kept popping up in the top 100 that had no business being there? We shouldn't talk about it. It'll make somebody mad. I don't mind duck soup, so I'll say that Pepper X is more overrated than duck soup is. Have to say that. Basketball Jones, aside from the heat, how'd you like the sauce taste? Here's what was interesting about that sauce. There's something in that sauce other than pepper. There's a spice in that sauce that I can taste, and I don't know what it is, but it doesn't appear on the ingredient list. To me, it does not taste just like pepper. There's something else in it. Now, maybe it's a unique vinegar that's creating an interesting flavor. I'm not sure. But to me, there was something in that sauce. Thank you, Tommy. Tommy, the troublemaker. I thought you said you were leaving. You had to run, huh? Is that how you work? Is that how we're playing? It could be, Jeremy. Absolutely could be cumin. That I can't think of what it could be. That's the only one that comes to mind is cumin. But to me, I taste something other than just peppers. Every choice they made was shady. That's it. It's true, Dizzy. It's so flippin' true. The tears of the sad chili heads. Shade, that's hilarious. Do you know what's funny about that? I have a sauce. I still have it. It was made. Give me just a minute. I'm not going to tell a story until I can think of who gave me the sauce because I don't want to insult anybody. Forget about it. We have Pepper Royalty in the chat, everybody. We have Shahina Wasim, the UK chili queen, is with us. Chris Deco, good to see you. It absolutely is. I agree with you. Shahina, what's going on? Miss you, Johnny. Please give Tad and Kid hugs. I promise I will. We were talking about you yesterday, you and Paul and Pate. Pate's coming today to see us. In fact, he'll be here in like 3 hours. So I'm going to hang out with Pate today, and I don't have to get a grenade tossed at me or anything crazy like that. It's going to be beautiful. We are not worthy, Basketball Jones. You know, I've known Shayna a long time. It feels like we grew up together, but we've known each other for a long time. She's amazing. You know what I get all the time? When are you and Shahida going to meet again in another belt match? I'm like, it's coming, I promise. You know what I said yesterday, which I probably shouldn't have said? But I can't really get in trouble. It's not going to halt anything. I said I can neither confirm nor deny that she and I meet again in this upcoming show. I can't say it's going to happen. I can't say it's not. That's like when you're in court and the attorney says this, and me it says, withdraw. You can't make the jury unhear it. Same thing. Sorry, I'm just being honest. Make it so. I love that. I've always loved that. Possible Hulu episode. I don't know. Often means pain when we meet. Often? Often? When was the last time you and I met where we didn't get hurt? No, you know what? That's not true. That's not true. Every time we meet in a contest, someone gets hurt. There's no two ways about it. But every time we meet normally, it's nothing but bliss. You know what? Me too, Your Highness. Tommy's sweet. The first time, every time it's been brutal. It really has. But do I ever cook with chili pods or just eat them raw? Exile. I mostly eat them raw, to be honest with you. Once in a blue moon, but I mostly eat them raw. I'm trying to think of the worst one. I think Belgium may have been the worst one. I was so wrecked from that one. That was a bad one. The first one, like the one we did in at the Guilford Cheese and Chili Fest, that was a bad one. That really was a bad one. But you know what? It's not so bad losing to you. Isn't that terrible? I don't like losing at all. I hate it. But if I'm going to lose to somebody, I'd like to lose to you. It's not so bad. Bruce Cook asks, what happened to Dustin Atomic Menace? He's been off the radar for a while. I don't know. No idea. Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. I don't really know. Here's the thing. The only other chili head in the community that I know that uploads regularly, you're not leaving, Tommy. You're going to lurk some more and cause more trouble. It's how you work. It's how you operate. It's your operating system. I got it. It's okay. We know you're going to do it. And just like that, I don't know what I was saying. Joaquin Pietronigro. What's up there? Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Rutland. If Tommy's still here, he's got to laugh from that. Shane says, what's worse, the initial burn or afterburn or the calf cramps that follow? Always the calf cramps. I live for the burn before and after. The calf cramps are the devastating part. And I don't know, anybody is going to, that's it. What do you mean by bad pain or aftermath? The calf cramps are the most surreal pain, I think. I mean, it's bizarre how much it hurts. If Tommy's still on the chat, this is how to pull Tommy back in. Tommy, what were your calf cramps like when you did the 13 million Scoville tincture? He had calf cramps for 5 hours. No joke. And it was bad. The first time I went in there, I was so concerned. I'm like, dude, you all right? Can I get you anything? A towel or something? It's like, look, here's the thing, man. It doesn't matter. When the calf cramps set in, it's so serious. It just gets everything is really serious. There's nothing funny. It's brutal. It's a tough thing, calf cramps. And then when he came out, he was like, "Whoa, we can laugh about it now," because that's a joke we've been using forever. And then 20 minutes later, another wave hit. It was devastating. It always feels like we're in it together. It sure does. You're fun. I love competing against you. You're fun to compete against. And the last time we did, our last one was wonderful. It really was. Hey, Matt R. Good to see you. Calf cramps stay and they hurt until you let it out the exit. No, not to me. It has nothing to do with that. With me, it doesn't. It's just something you're going to go through. They're two separate physical things with me. Getting exporting them and dealing with the calf cramps, they don't go ahead. I'm sure it may with some people. I know other people have said the same thing. When I go to the bathroom, I'm fine. I'm different. When the calf cramps are gone, I'm fine. But the calf cramps I had, or the endorphin rush I got from the Belgium contest against Sheena, was one of the best endorphin rushes I've ever had. I don't think there's anything in the lab they could inject in you that can make you feel that way. It was the most amazing one. I was walking down a hallway, and I swear to you, I felt like I was floating. And I couldn't feel my feet hitting the floor, but I kept walking. And I swear to you, I felt like I was floating. One of the most amazing endorphin rushes I've ever had. Never felt like that before. Why can't you get endorphin rush from cap cramps? I feel ripped off. That's funny, Shane. You know what's funny? You can't. What happens is, believe it or not, if you didn't have the influence of the capsaicin in your body, those cap cramps would be 10 times worse. That's kind of how I see it. Will there be another contest between y'all, Johnny, and the UK Chili Community? Absolutely. I promise you. Without a doubt. And I can promise you, if you're paying attention in the next, 60 days, you'll see it. Just saying. I'll say no more. Don't force me. My worst cap cramps came from eating 9 Reapers on a nearly empty stomach 3 years ago for a YouTube video. Second worst was my first attempt at the tube of terror. But here's the deal. You know what's funny about that, Bruce? It's, the psychologists call it one trial learning, meaning you do it once, you're like, note to self, eat prior to challenge next time. That's not something you'll do more than, once or twice. I mean, you may get cap cramps again, but go into a challenge on an empty stomach, nah. Listen, Sonny the Bee Spicer was in Ohio, and he was doing the C3 challenge, and he went out. There's 4 tubs. I think he went out on the 3rd tub. It's a brutal challenge. He was on the floor for like 3 or 4 hours, and right afterwards, he's dying. He's cramping up, and I said, Sonny, is there anything I can get for you, dude? How you feeling? He's like, I said, you prepped well, right? Tell me you prepped well. He's like, I did it on an empty stomach. I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you? He looks at me, and I swear to God, he goes, Johnny, I want to be the no prep challenge king. That's what he said. I said, dude, that's a short-lived career. You can do that. I'm taking it from an old guy who's been doing this for a really long time. You can go that route. It's like the brightest stars burn the quickest, and whatever. You can go that route, but you're just going to have a wicked short career. And with it, I think a day or 2 later, he's like, yeah, I think I rethought that. I'm glad he did. Yeah, cramps are no joke, man. Women have a higher pain threshold, so when you step into the queen, you better be on your A game. She's a beast. It isn't just her pain threshold, Basketball Jones, and it is that with her. But she's very fast. She is. And there's 2 kinds. Listen, if you sit down fresh and try to pound down 10 peppers as fast as you can, that's hard. It really is. It's just a different thing than eating them slowly, However, if you try to eat 10 pods really fast, oh, you know what? An ad is going to run shortly for some viewers. I just saw this on the bottom. You guys, in 15 seconds, there's going to be an ad popping up. Man, I'm sorry. Please don't go anywhere. But eating 10 pods really fast after you've eaten 40 or 50 is a very, very different experience than eating 10 pods really fast, fresh. And I've never seen anybody who's better at eating a bunch of pods really fast after eating a bunch of pods already. I've never seen anybody do that. She's just amazing at it. It's crazy. Bruce Cook, I was a new chili head when I did it. Only had 2 pieces of bread, a glass of water. These cramps had me screaming bloody murder for almost half an hour. Half an hour, bro? That wasn't so bad. Listen, one of the first videos on the channel is I did a video with Vince Jones, a buddy of mine. I love him. I'm going to see him next week, but I haven't told anybody. And I was at his house, and I think I was 5 Reapers. And it was either 5 Reapers and 2 Scorpions, or 7 Reapers and a couple Scorpions. I don't know if there's a bunch of pods. And I mean, absolute straight growling stomach. My stomach was growling for food. It wasn't even like an empty stomach. I was hungry. And man, it was one of the worst nights. Probably one of the top 3 or 4, maybe top 5 worst nights I've ever had due to chilies. Never forget it. I remember thinking, wow, I'm never doing that again. Vince called 911 and went to the hospital at night thinking he was having a heart attack. Not a joke. Called them. They showed up and took him. Brutal. It's rough. I mean, I was sick. Oh, man, you had a half hour screaming like pain, Bruce. I think you did well, man. I thought I was going to die that night, man. It was weird, too, because my son, Johnny Jr., was in the bedroom next to our bedroom. I was married at the time, and he could hear me moaning and groaning all night long. The next day, it was really weird. The next day, I got up. I was like, the sun comes out. It's like, oh, my God, thank God the pain is over. I was just so happy it was over. I left my bedroom, and I was doing something. I went back into my bedroom after being out of it for a while. And when I walked back into the bedroom, all I could smell were peppers from it coming out of my skin. Like the room smelled like peppers. I'm not making that up. I swear it's a true story. I can never use my hands. The Naga claw is a real thing for sure. Boy, it really is, Shan. You know the weird thing about Naga claw? You guys know what that is, right? You have so much. It's happened to me once. You have so much capsaicin in your hands that your hands cramp and they look just like this. I don't care who you are. This is what your hands do when the Naga claw sets in. It looks like a claw, and they call it Naga claw. And I'll tell you something, man. If you're in a contest with somebody and you're face to face or side by side, and they start getting Naga claw, it's creepy to watch. Like it's a real thing. Yeah, it's brutal. The waves of cramps are the worst. The waves of cramps, such a dirty trick, because the first times it happens to you as a chilihead, the first wave goes and you're like, holy crap, I can't believe that's over. God, I never felt anything like that. And you think you're out of the woods. And then like 20 minutes later, it comes back. Oh, it's demoralizing. I mean, it hurts, but it's demoralizing. It's crippling, like here. And then you think, is that going to do it again? I've had some bad ones where, like the second time I chugged the plutonium challenge, the whole bottle, the first wave of cramps came in and they seize up and then it goes away. And and when it goes away, it's like, oh, then a wave comes back. Well, it came in, the first cramps came in and they were there for 16 hours. I was on the floor with 911 queued up on my phone for probably, like, I was a real hard decision because I couldn't drive. I couldn't stand up. I couldn't straighten out. And I was going to have to go to, I was thinking like, I mean, I was like, man, do I go? I have never gone to a hospital for calf cramps, but they're no fun, man. They're brutal. If they insist on doing a commercial during a live stream, they should. You know what I'm going to do? The next time there's a commercial, I can see when there's a commercial. The next time there's a commercial, I'm just going to stop talking for like a minute. I don't know how long are the commercials, 30 seconds, a minute, and are they skippable? Tell me, because I don't know. I don't watch my own stuff. But let me know if they're skippable, if you can't skip them, and how long. Are we talking 30 seconds, 15 seconds, 5 seconds, a minute? Because what I'll do is I'll pause next time so it doesn't happen. The mailman just delivered the package with the crunchy challenge in it. I love that. Shelton says Green Acres. It's the place to be. I'm surprised you guys didn't know that. I skipped after the first. Okay, they're skippable. That's good. So you're only missing a couple seconds. That's good. It would bum me out if they were non-skippable. That would bother me. Flavin Jackson says he loves us all. And I got news for you. Do you know he really does? He's just one of the most wonderful people I know. And he does love you. And I love you, Flavin Jackson. Tony Adams, good to see you, man. Tony is the one who I just read his comment. He skipped after 3 seconds. I think that's great. You know what's funny? I don't know like if you watch the entire commercial, like if every single person that watched the video watched the entire commercial and didn't skip it, if that affects how YouTube pays me. I don't have any idea. I don't know. I think it must, because I know this. If I do non-skippable ads, I've never done it. I've never chosen them on purpose anyway. Maybe they've thrown one in, but I've never chosen them on purpose. But if they do non-skippable ads, I know they pay me more because they tell me that. But I know I'm going to lose people because I don't, who wants to sit through an ad? So I wouldn't do that to you guys. Lawn Dog, good morning. Time for a bit of coffee. Lizard, that's what this is. Coffee talk. Milli Vanilli was neither Millie nor Vanilli. You know what's funny? I feel bad for them. That was a tough deal. That had to be the most terrifying moment. Like when you're in the middle of it and you realized, oh no, we have to keep the charade going. I can't imagine the stress of that. The whole world watching you. Like the whole world watching you. I can't imagine that. Tony, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for saying that. You said, good to see you live. I don't think during a live podcast they should push commercials. Yeah, I hear you. Here's why, it's funny. Let me tell you something about live streams. I don't think anybody, maybe you guys know this. Chad Matthews, good to see you. I don't brew it powder in my coffee when I brew it. I just dump it in after. But if I make a video, good example. The first video I did for the plutonium, it has almost 300,000 views. Okay. The last time I did it, same product. Usually it's a huge. You put plutonium chug in a title, and you're just gonna get a lot of views. The third time I did it, I did the whole thing and gargled it, but I did it live, and that video has 60,000 views. 60,000. So what happens is this: once a video is made in a live stream, it goes into the land of forgetfulness. Nobody ever looks at live streams. Nobody, and I shouldn't say nobody. Every day somebody does, but 99% of the views are not from live streams that I did in the past. They're from videos I uploaded. So because of that, I think YouTube is trying to make sure that at least I get paid for it. I don't know. I get it. I do get it. I'm not a big fan of commercials, but it is what it is. Hey, John, are you going to do that 24-hour live stream soon? We did. Dilrod, we did. Tommy and I did it on his channel about 2 weeks ago. It was brutal. Onyx, good to see you, man. It was, I don't know if did anybody see that live stream? It was 24 hours. I think we only did 23 or something because something happened. But it was basically a full one. But at one point, about halfway through, we get a prank call. Did anybody see that? It wasn't a prank. Excuse me, I shouldn't say prank call. It was a scam call from a scammer, a telemarketer. Did anybody see that? Bruce Cook, it happens that I rewatched all 3 of your Plutonium Challenge yesterday. Thank you for doing that. Man, I gotta stop looking away because just like that. Okay, the prank caller. This prank caller calls and we look at him like it's a telemarketer. So we answer. We put him on live. He's live, but everybody's hearing him. And the dude says, "Is this Adam?" And Tommy goes, "Sure is." Yeah, he's not Adam. So we sat there, and this dude, I can't remember what group he was from, but he said to Tommy that we have a package that was sent to you, and it contains drugs. I swear to you, and this is a sober channel, so it was just a bizarre phone call, and we were messing with him. It's for somebody named Adam, not Tommy. So we were just messing with the guy on the phone, and Tommy is a sobriety channel. We always say that. The opposite of addiction is not sobriety, it's connections. So towards the end, I'm like, dude, you don't need to suffer alone. We're here for you. You're on a live stream right now. There's tons of people listening to you. And this is a sober channel. And the opposite of addiction is connection. You finally have a lot of connections. You don't need to keep doing this. And this guy wouldn't get off the phone. Even though we were doing this, he stayed on. And it was just the funniest phone call. But it was really odd because it was just a weird phone call. I don't know why I brought that up. Oh, because somebody asked about the 24 hours. Here's the problem with the 24-hour live stream. The last 5 hours are so mentally devastating. It's bizarre. 42 people watching, only 25 likes. Go hit the like button, K-Swap says. You don't need to. You know why? The right people are here. I'm not worried about it, you guys. I'm really not. What makes me angry is when you actually pay for a service like Netflix and you still have to watch them. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. Like, I don't know on Hulu when the Super Hots comes out. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know if it's going to be, if they're going to have commercials in it or not. I have no idea. It was a fun stream. Johnny was a good brother and let Tommy sleep. I know, because he had he had an interview, a really important, like 3-hour interview the next day. I don't remember how long I let him sleep. Here's the thing about those live streams. If people fire questions one after the other, I can do 40 hours. I can, because I'm not having to come up with stuff to talk about. But after we've been there, and you got to understand, after we've done it for like 17 hours, a huge chunk of the people that were in that chat had been there for most of the time. So we're all sort of bleary-eyed. So towards the end of the chat, I'm like, please, somebody ask me a question. I can't keep sitting here trying to come up with stuff. Trying to come up with stuff to talk about. If somebody kept asking questions, like if they just fed me one question after the other on a cue card, I think I could do it for 40 hours. I really do. but towards the end, it's really difficult to come up with things to say. So I was like begging for people to ask questions. It was interesting. Commercials help the creator, plain and simple. It's a few seconds of diverted attention. We aren't used to that these days, but there aren't a lot of ways to make a living making content. This is one of them. Thank you, Donnie. I've had people really get upset with me about it. And I say, look, this is, if I didn't do this as a job and it was just like a side gig or a hobby or a little bit of, you know what I mean? If that was the case, I get, this is what I do for a living. This is like literally how I pay all my bills. I don't have a second gig. So, I understand that people are upset with them. I do. I get it. But here's the problem. We've gotten into who killed cable TV? This platform, YouTube did. Because people are now with cable, it's almost offensive. Like when I look at cable, I'm like, you want me to, like, I have a certain show I want to watch. You're going to tell me when I have to watch it? Nah, I don't think so. YouTube, it's your tube. You decide when you want to watch it. It's you. It's all about you. It's not about some network. So I think YouTube has been the biggest reason that cable is going out of business is because YouTube. But while I'm sorry that I have commercials. I participate in a channel called Ken Stout Live. He does DaVinci Resolve videos. He wants to do a 24-hour podcast December 31, I believe. Do me a favor. If he does that, and he does that, will you do me a favor, though, for Real Lawn Dog? Email me, chaseheat@gmail.com, if he's going to do that. Because I want to go. I probably won't watch the whole thing because I've never seen the guy. I don't know what his content is. But what I will do is I will set my alarm. I don't care what time it is. I will make sure I watch the last couple hours because I just want to see how another dude does after talking for 22 hours. I've never seen anybody else do one. I know the reason I did one initially when I first started the channel is because LA Beast did. And I'm a huge LA Beast fan. So I was like, man, if that guy can do it, I can do it. So he was the reason. Rumor has that video killed the radio star. Do you know that was the first video that was played on YouTube? I guess you obviously know that because that's why you said that. I bet a lot of people don't know that, though. Did anybody in the chat not know that? I didn't mean YouTube. I meant MTV. Thank you, Shane. The very first video MTV ever played was Video Killed the Radio Star. Isn't that kind of funny? Here's the funniest part. MTV. There's a whole generation that doesn't know that MTV ever played music videos. Isn't that weird? I think it's kind of weird. Who killed MTV? Yeah, I don't know, man. There's a bunch of things that I don't understand. Like, how did a show that was all about videos sit down with a bunch of people going, hey, I got an idea. Yeah, let's do regular programming and shows, reality shows, and let's not do videos anymore. Anybody a BMW fan? This is something that Tommy and I have been livid about for a long time. Anybody BMW fans here? There are a few models that I really like a lot. Overall, I'm not a BMW fan. One of the models I love from back in the day was the BMW 2002. One of the most beautiful cars. And if you see one that's in good shape, that's an original, that's nice, it's an incredible car. Do you understand that they didn't do a remake like in the year 2002? It was one of their greatest models ever. It's famous. Anybody who doesn't know BMW, the 2002 is the first fuel injected car ever was a 2002 TII. So it was an amazing car. If they had rolled out a 2002 in the year 2002, like with a lot of modern components, but a similar body design, they did like the Thunderbird, kind of a nod to the past. If they had done that for BMW, they would have, and just limited it to like 50,000 units or 25,000. They would have sold them all like that. I promise you. And they didn't. And that bothers Tommy and I. So I can't believe they dropped the ball on that. I can't believe. I think about it all the time. Can you imagine that? I can't believe that no BMW office meeting did ever say, 2002 is coming up. We could do it. Wouldn't that hard? We could just take a lot of the components. We make them anyway. Fix them. I could have put that deal together. I can't believe BMW didn't do that. I don't know why things like that bother me. I'm thinking about buying a BMW, actually, Basketball Jones. An M Coupe. If you've ever seen them, they're weird looking. They call it, people that like BMWs call it the clown shoe. If you don't know what I'm talking about, take a look at the clown shoe. You either love that car or you absolutely hate that car. I love it. I love the shape of it, and I love it handles like a rat with sneakers. It's got like the stiffest. When I read about it, they said it has the stiffest chassis they've ever tested on a vehicle. If you know anything about vehicles, the stiffer the chassis, the tighter it's going to drive. So I'm thinking about buying one of those. I'm not sure though. All right, so I've been going for an hour and 5 minutes. I'm going to stop now. I want to thank all of you guys so much for hanging out with me. I mean it. I love you guys a lot. A lot of things you could have done today, but you hung out with me for a while. So thank you for all your time. Thank you, Dizzy. I wish I had a giant list so I could just rapid fire say everybody's name. But thank you for being here. If I didn't say your name in the chat, geez, I'm sorry. But I appreciate you guys doing it. Pate, Left Eye Pat's going to be here in a couple hours. So we're probably going to do a live. If we don't do a live stream, which we might, if we don't do that, I promise you we'll at least make a video, a cool video, because Pat's great. I love Left Eye Pat a lot. And I never call him Pate. The only reason I say that is because today Paul was in the chat. And Paul calls him, Bizzle, you freak. You know I'm about to call you? Stick around. I hope you're available. You available to talk? Let me ask you. Are you available to talk right now? All right, then, Johnny, man, chat, have a good one. Thank you, Onyx. Put it this way, Bizzle. If you're available to talk, text me, and let's chat in a little bit. But I love you all. You're my tribe. The vibe of my tribe. Excellent. Let's talk in a few minutes. I'll text you, Biz. All right, I love you guys. You see, it's a great car, that M Coupe. From behind, if you look at that car, I keep saying I'm going to get off. Google the M Coupe, BMW M Coupe, and from the rear, the view from behind, it has the most attractive back end of a vehicle. There's a few that are more attractive than that. Air-cooled VW. You know what? I had a 1989 911 that was air-cooled, and it was the most amazing car. One of the most amazing cars I've ever owned. At the same, Tommy and I had the same car. Mine was white, his was red. Big fan. It was just the most beautiful car, and they were air-cooled. And when you're in, when you're driving along, you don't really notice it because you're in it. Well, the engine's right behind you, so it makes a ton of noise. But if you're in like at a stoplight, it sounded like a stock car. Like today, if you pull up next to a 2023 Porsche 911 Turbo, even a twin turbo, you can sit right next to it, and in traffic, it sounds like a Hyundai or a Honda or a Toyota. There's just no noise at all. Now, if you put your foot in it, it's going to come alive. But the air-cooled Porsches, they sounded like stock cars just idling, and they never, ever overheated. They were bulletproof. Maybe I need to buy one of those. I love you guys. Have a great day, all right? We'll see you guys this afternoon. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm Johnny Scoville. This was Chase to Eat.